Another day out here, just kind of hitting the trails a little bit. Getting a little muddy here before I wash it. A first good hand pressure wash of the year. Probably gonna do that tomorrow or the next day. Probably when I get back up to Silver Bay. But yeah, we're just ripping the trails here. Been doing it every day for the last like 3 days, and I love it. Bella loves it too, right, Bells? Now, I don't usually drink Coors, but I will when it's cold. I got this on sale for $3.99 for a 6-pack, dude. And they're not even expired. I'll get on and show you guys the truck. It's about 42 or 3 degrees out. It's pretty nice. Like, I could be in a t-shirt right now, but I'm not. Just kind of hitting the mud. So here's what we're going with. I haven't washed this thing in probably, I don't know, shit. Probably almost a month now. I know that's horrible, but we've had rain just like every day up on the North Shore where I've been for the last month and a half, 2 months. And then last week we had a straight blizzard, which we got accumulated well over 18 inches of snow. I believe it was over 18. The drifts made it for sure over 18 coming off of Superior. And then, so I've had, nowhere to wash it, no time to wash it. And then, it's getting my detailing business going up there. The week before that, when we had sun, so I was detailing for people up there and getting my business spread up there. So yeah, I've had no time to wash it. So this is kind of what we're rocking with here. It doesn't look as dirty as it is. It's really bad. Like, it's pretty bad. I don't usually let them get like this, but... And then since I've been back home, I've been hitting these trails, mudding, like I just crossed that. So everything's mud right now. And I guess I could probably title this video, how is a basic 1500, truck off-roading. I'm not doing nothing crazy, but there's a few mud holes, I might go back. Actually, I will go back through it for this video now that I think about it. Where the mud's up to probably here. And I'm just on like, they're not stock to this truck, I don't believe, but they're stock Chevy wheels. Basic all-terrains, nothing aggressive, nothing, crazy. Obviously, you can tell they're not aggressive all-terrains, but they're all-terrains. The rears are brand new as of like 2 weeks ago. Fronts are worn down, but they're still fine. And I will say, I love this truck, like I've said in the previous videos. For a basic 1500, that's stock height, stock wheels, in 2-wheel drive with traction and StabiliTrak off, it rips through these trails. And you can see they're still wet. There's still snow, they're still wet. And it rips through them. Yeah, I'm in sandals. Don't worry about it. See if the water's cold. Oh, shit, that's cold. All right, well, water's still cold. I can't swim yet. Snow's fine. It melts right away. Yeah, my dog's a freak, I know. I think you can definitely rip trails on a stock 1500 truck. I know you can in some Fords. I've had a 09 Platinum F-150 with the 5.4. I've had a 2011 5.0. No, 3.5 EcoBoost. F-150. I've had a 2010 black F-150 with the 5.4. They were all great. They're all fine. All of them but all those had really good all-terrains on them, like really beefy all-terrains. I'm not gonna lie, this probably does a fair amount better off-road than them did. So, I don't know. Quit eating grass. Hey. Quit. You ain't puking in my truck. So, yeah. I've never had a Dodge, though. I've never had a Dodge truck, so I don't know. I've had a Durango, and that thing was a beast. I've had 2 or 3 Durango RTs, 2003 RTs. And then I had a 2000 and, was it 4 or 5 of just the 5.7 with the Hemi. The thing was a beast off-road, too. I took it grouse hunting a lot. So, you have to get out to places like this. And that thing was really good, too. It probably helped it was a little heavier. I think this thing's pretty light for a truck. But, yeah. I mean, I don't even want to show you guys inside because I just cleaned it about a week ago up in Silver Bay. And then, Now she's dirty again. But that's because I have my German Shepherd. That thing that rides in here with me everywhere I go. She's with me by my side 24/7. Her hair, you don't even want to see the back seat. I had it so clean too. I have before and after pictures I might post, but I had it so freaking clean. And then, yeah. Can't even, yeah. It's horrible. I had a sheet on it, but she just gets pissed off at the sheets and blankets I put on it, and she starts to dig them up and rips them up. I don't know what it is. I do also want to say I'm sorry for a couple longer videos lately. It's just I kind of record things and post it. Hopefully this summer I'll get back to some car content and stuff like that, but I figured I could post some off-roading right now. You know, why not? It's still a vehicle. One sec, I'm gonna put this dip in quick. I ran out of my long cut, so I gotta do my pouches. You know what I mean? Traction, StabiliTrak off. My tire pressure light's always on. I don't know. It's been on since I got the truck. I don't care about that. No one does. But in the late spring, this gets so deep where I would never drive my truck through it. I wouldn't even drive a four-wheeler through it half the time. It gets so deep. Well, I'm a 5'11". It gets to my waist and even a little higher sometimes, right in the middle. Like all the way through the middle. Because, you know, that usually starts to flood in the spring. It's late, it's middle to late, almost not late spring right now, but it's middle spring. But we're going through it now. It's not deep, but it's like 6 inches up the tire, if that. But yeah, I don't know. I grew up doing this type of stuff, so not in vehicles really, but in, you know, off-road vehicles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers. But I do love this trail because I see a lot of wildlife on it, and there's a few spots that are just fun to hang out with buddies. You know, we got a couple spots where we build a fire pit out of rocks and stuff, you know, and then pull up a stump and just chill and talk, you know, go sip for sip, you know, like Morgan Wallen said, sip for sip, talking about life. That's some of the best times you can have, in my opinion. There's other trails, but this is the only one that motor vehicles are allowed on, like street vehicles, so can't really bring it on the other ones because I don't want to ruin it for ATVs and stuff, because the other ones are super beautiful, like they're on the river and stuff, and it's super good. But yeah, no, for a basic 1500, this thing is very good off-road. Yes, I'm in four-wheel drive right now, but I just don't want to deal with the two-wheel drive and doing like drifting and burnouts and crap going through shit right now. I'd rather just crawl through it as I'm talking. I don't want to deal with like correcting the steering wheel and whatnot. So the downsides, obviously, of off-roading a 1500 that's, you know, on stock wheels and whatnot. Obviously, clearance is probably going to be your biggest thing. I would say is clearance. Like, gotta watch out. Make sure there's no stumps. I know these trails like the back of my hand, so, you know, I know where the stumps are at. I don't know if you guys just seen that in the far distance. Turkey just like hopped across the fucking thing. God, they're weird. Yeah, that one's a little deeper, but it's not too bad. I do like it on a four-wheeler too in the summer when it's hot out and you smoke a mud pit, and some of them are cold and some of them are like really burning hot when it hits you. It's kind of like, it's like Russian roulette. It's like some of them are really hot and some of them are cold. Not really sure why, but that's how it works. Tires are a huge thing for off-roading. Also a huge thing that I always equip my four-wheelers with, which a lot of people equip their off-road vehicles with, which you kind of have to, is a winch. But obviously I'm not going to put a winch on this. No, that doesn't even make sense. Especially on the trails I go on with this. I've been stuck in this thing one time, but it wasn't, you can't even really call it that stuck. All I had to do was go back and forth. Forward and reverse, back and forth, and I was fine. Got out. I've been stuck on this trail in my parents' 2019 F-150, horribly stuck. But it wasn't this type of stuff. It's when it was frozen solid. I tried to go over it because it looked like it was just snow, so I figured it was all frozen for the year. Because like the whole trail was like, every water puddle I drove over was frozen. So I went over and I'm like, all right. I got about halfway through it and the thing collapsed and the truck sank. The rear end sank and the water was almost to the top of the bed. Oh, fuck. Well, I can get through this one. It's not this one, obviously, but... Oh, shit, it's not too bad, actually, surprisingly. But I can tell it's mud, so I'm not doing it. Personal experience, I know it's deep. It's this one right here. It's very deep, and you can see the ruts. There's like 2 main ruts that go like through it.